everybody, and welcome to another U of M-Flint esports broadcast. I'm SkyDagger.
And I'm Right Click.
Today, we've got some League of Legends coming right at you. I am, no doubt, without a doubt, super excited for today. It is going to be super fun watching U of M-Flint Blue already take a crack at playoffs.
As anyone might remember, last semester we also had a pretty decent playoffs run, making it to the semifinals at NECC. So I'm just kind of hoping that this practically new roster can kind of hone in on that previous achievement made by yours truly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no doubt about it. And that is a really fun thing to get to do. But now it's going to be all up to U of M-Flint Blue here, going to be on that red side. Trent Green already with the bans targeting that Shaco, but instead, some interesting mid bans.
I'm not too big a fan of these bans from Trent here. You know, I don't really see Boba on the Galio, and I think Malzahar could have been substituted for a slightly better ban. Like, I don't know how these solo laners are. Like, maybe the top laner could have had a better ban on 2 instead of, you know, having to save something for 4-5, but
yeah,
you never know.
I mean, I think here, you know, on these first few bans, you really do want to target the power play, maybe, and I mean, the Shaco's fine, of course, but this mid lane targeting, not necessarily going to be anything that, you know, really takes any resources away from U of M-Flint Blue here. I think there's still that Victor up, there's still a lot kind of, there's the power scaling is open here, and of course, when we're talking about power scaling, can't forget Lulu. Lulu going to be picked out by Trent Green here, and certainly going to deny a few options that U of M-Flint Blue may have been thinking about, or kind of enabling Trent Green to really start working on a bot lane that can get a little bit scrappy and a little bit disgusting, kind of more with the ability to run over.
Yeah, I mean, I am a not big fan of Lulu. This champion is so unbelievably disgusting. Trying to play anything engage into it just makes you want to like smash your head into a wall. So I'm a little bit surprised by the immediate Rel Tristana pick right afterwards, because trying to play into Lulu as either of these champions when you just get polymorphed, and then you just stand there walking around in this stupid little form. It's not a great experience trying to play engage into Lulu, but we can see how UM-Flint will try to pilot around that. Now, the Xayah pick as well is kind of making me regret saying anything at all, because that's horrible to play into as anything without like effective range, right? Like, I think the best possible drafting option for UM-Flint here would either be like a mid laner with a decent amount of range, like say an Ori or a Syndra, rather than some other random thing that could be picked by
a
Boba.
Different control mage with an auto attack range of like a meter.
You definitely need something to round out the range of this comp, especially into Lulu Xayah, where you can't just engage when you want, because they can kind of just press buttons to stop it entirely. Because, like, imagine trying to play as this Rel, you crash down, and then the person you went on is Lulu ulted, and then you get knocked up, and then you die.
And then you try and re-engage, and then Xayah becomes untargetable, and then punishes you as the re-engage comes out from Trent.
Yeah, it's something where you have to take space really quickly with. Like, you have to be able to capitalize on a terrible positioning mistake from Trent here, because you aren't really given those immediate angles as you would if they picked any other champion besides Lulu Xayah. But we do see the Ori come out here from Boba as expected. You know, he's been putting in a whole lot of Orianna games throughout this season, so I'm not too surprised by that, but it definitely should help out this comp a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, like that range that you said, there's definitely a lot. I think as well, U of M-Flint, so much of kind of this AoE, the pushing together of these champions. What else do you think U of M-Flint can kind of draft here that gives them a little bit more of that splash damage that they might be looking for when kind of catching Trent Green out?
I mean, realistically, from this jungle top side, I don't really expect anything that can just like delete the entire map based on like an ultimate or something. Like
Aw.
you kind of you kind of have to like draft something that can just run in, and from these available options, I think G-Tausch will probably be put on the Nocturne. That's like the most reasonable option. Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's like because of the way you have Rel Tristana plus Ori that kind of needs someone else to go in if the Rel doesn't get a successful engage. You're kind of forced into the Nocturne from this spot because, you know, it's obviously one of Nocturne's best combos, but it sucks because it's Lulu Zaya and you can't just go in like super easily. Now we do see a Diana actually.
I like that. I mean, if there was anything to kind of mesh in kind of that splash damagey, that AoE advantage there, I think Diana definitely kind of plays well into these ultis.
For sure, but the only issue I have with this is that you have a double AP mid jungle,
Ooh.
and I feel like you kind of want to split up the damage between those two sides and roles of the map, because imagine you're 2v2ing on mid as, you know, mid jungle, and the enemy jungle has a little bit of MR. What do you do? Like it's
Right.
hard to play, in my opinion, as Diana when you're not solo AP, because that's like her biggest strength is like being able to itemize in a way that just gives her a lot of flat AP so that she just runs through over with high numbers instead of having to play through like burns and stuff. But I do know that's like the meta right now. Like people are enjoying Leandri's Rift on Diana, playing her more like a bruiser. And we do see a Malphite here. It's a little bit
AP sided.
yeah, it's very heavy on the magic damage here on this
Yeah.
top side. So this Rel Tristana really needs to get ahead early, or else this Sejuani might become unkillable in the late game. And on top of that, you have to be able to, you know, mark the Lulu Zaya, which can be hard even with this, you know, full-on engage comp, unless UM-Flint like slowly lines it up. They force out the flashes, they force out the ults, and then they can go in with their different ultimates one by one. And if they see an angle, something can pop up. But that's all speculative. You never know what can happen on the Summoner's Rift.
That's true, and I think UM-Flint here do in fact not want this game to go on for too long. I mean,
Not
the
at all.
second you hit that like 25-minute mark, it starts getting hairy. Every minute passing by, it is going to start kind of seeping in. I don't think we can win this, guys, because I mean, come on, Lulu, Victor.
Like I see this blue side draft, and it's just, yeah, it's an auto win at 30 minutes, I fear.
Yeah, definitely gonna need to be clean and clinical with this. Get the stopwatch going here, and I ain't talking about Seeker's arm guard.
Stopwatch isn't even in the game.
That's what I'm
anymore.
saying. That's
I'm
why
so
I said Seeker's
sad.
arm guard. I'm like, it's so unfortunate, but you know,
I want to be able
no
to
more.
I want to be able to, you know, get Zonias at least once as an AD champion when I'm buying GA. It's
Yeah.
just, it feels so bad just buying this item now. It's not great.
UM-Flint looking to hopefully make a fast one of this, or at least make sure that the scaling composition doesn't fully realize its maximum power. UM-Flint gonna be this first game in this playoff series.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited to see how this team is trying to you know, pull it through on these playoffs. They've had quite an interesting season with such a drastic roster change compared to the last, and the core of the team have definitely seen some adversity in terms of trying to get back together, but this is the series of all time.
Certainly is. Loki getting in a bit dip here for this Raptor ward. In fact, does get out of there, losing only a few hundred health.
I mean, that's a very good ward to get in early game, you know. Having any wards in the enemy jungle to track their pathing in this early game is so decisive. It lets you plan out just basically your next 10 to 15 minutes because you get to see enemy jungler on one single camp. It's that impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, bring our attention here to this bot lane. UM-Flint hinging a lot here on this Tristana Rel. This Lulu Zaya definitely going to be an obstacle to overcome here in this particular match here.
Realistically, I don't think Tristana Rel or specifically the Tristana, is like the main character of this game at all. There's definitely not a whole lot of easy angles for a Tristana to work with besides like a big rel engage, which is once again hard to find in a comp like this. You can't just jump in with the threat of Sejuani, Yone, or Victor actually just one-shotting you at a certain point. It's definitely hard, but we do see some trading going on in the mid lane here. Boba's looking to chase down Clorm here. Don't know if there's any sums that have been used yet, but we didn't see it, and the first blood goes over to Boba.
Holy moly. And I don't believe any sums actually used by that Victor either.
What even happened?
I don't know. I mean, the trade just got out of hand. I think the Victor trying to just save it and just go next, really, maybe.
I don't think you can really go next as Victor with 9 CS, but
Unfortunate.
Clorm might be onto something. And it might not be
Anything.
a legal substance.
Oh, jeez. And, of course, Loki. We still using that support item. Just chilling in this bot lane. Gonna be fairly uneventful for a little bit. Meanwhile, I think this top lane, not uneventful at all. Villager trading with this Yone.
-1.
Yeah, that's a tough cannon minion there, but does in fact get another Q, coupled with that Arcane Comet.
Has the level 4 here. I don't know if the Yone ever sees an angle to trade on this Malphite, but could be a little something from Villager at some point. But we do see a gigantic 3v3 in the bot lane here. Loki goes down at the hands of Rai. G-Touch trades it out with a kill on the Magma. The flash comes out from the Xayah, and it doesn't look like G-Touch can catch. Never mind the QE at the ready, and G-Touch has found another kill. Chube cleaning up the Sejuani, netting UM-Flint a big win in the bot lane here.
Absolutely massive for UM-Flint, and it's just going to be Malphite backing here as going to be TPing back in. Knows this Yone is definitely going to hard shove this one. Doesn't want this wave to crash.
Oh, the melee minions are running.
That's unfortunate. Not going to be able to catch those here. Instead, going to try for a freeze there.
I think, unfortunately, that turns into a slow push.
Unfortunate.
You need at least 1 or 2 more minions than that, I fear. Having no casters to try to set up a freeze is definitely on the rougher side, but we might see a little bit of something here with Sejuani kind of closely hovering on this mid here. And with no vision from Boba, it could prove deadly. It's Nudzi actually decides to not go for a play at all. Instead, opting for some extra clear here. Bot lane, once again, kind of just chilling, you know. Loki needs a incredibly good angle to really make an engage happen. Like you definitely need to instantly land a Q, and then be a little bit wary of how your W is gonna go, considering Lulu abilities and all that.
Yeah. And still, just very boring bot lane, really.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely on the harder side to trade. You kind of just have to like open it up by gaining to be aggressive, and then like if the Lulu wastes abilities, then you get to use it. But if not, then you kind of just be sad.
Yeah. Villager doing a really nice job here, just poking out this Yone, being super big bully, super big rock mountain bully.
I mean, I'm sure that Villager knows that as soon as a Bramble or plated steel cap shows up in his inventory, it's over. Like, this Yone can no longer deal damage to him, because with the passive shield up, he's just going to be doing like 20 damage in auto on a 200 armor target. We do see Nudzi getting spotted out on the drag, forced to flash out. The level difference in this jungle being a little bit too scary for the Sejuani, and it's looking like a free Infernal Drake going over to UM-Flint.
It's going to be pretty clean. I mean, just so much prio here in bot. And, I mean, not only that, this Diana just so much gold.
Might be some trading in the bot lane here. Chube actually being able to find this kill onto the Lulu. Surprisingly, in a bit of unexpected fashion, Loki flashes in straight onto this Zaya, knowing that she doesn't have flash. It nets to be a killing spree for Chube. Loki goes down to the hands of Nudesy, but it doesn't matter. Chube jumps straight in and finds the double kill.
Yeah, utilizing the barrier all the while, but it's ultra worth. Only about, what, 3-minute cooldown on the barrier?
Oh yeah, no, it's a disgustingly low cooldown. And then as well in the top lane here, we have this Yone on suspiciously low HP. G-Touch smelling the blood in the water, might be looking to catch out this Yone. Driving him back further in. Might be a little bit rough for him. And it's looking like G-Touch has complete reign over Nudesy's jungle. There is still the level difference. I don't know if G-Touch has... Oh wait, no. The Diana R is at the ready, so if this Sejuani tries to contest it, might be rough. Does manage to steal away the Gromp, so the level 6 is achieved. Might be a little bit rough for G-Touch, but the Prio in the mid lane might be able to be enough to secure a play in this jungle here. G-Touch trying to fight over her blue, does manage to find the smite. But with Fresher in the area, it might be a little bit difficult. The stun does connect. Shockwave goes through. Nudesy is falling low. Sejuani R does land onto Boba, but the kill is made. G-Touch still trying to 1v1 the Yone. The E is out. Chaos Storm not quite fast enough to find G-Touch, but can G-Touch even find an outplay? Trying to dash onto the Yone. It is not enough. The shutdown goes over to this Yone.
Yeah, I think pretty solid for the Yone. I think it would be even better for Victor. Oh
flashing
my
forward,
goodness.
trying to catch out Boba, but the damage isn't quite enough. Trying to run in for the dive. It's completely botched. And Boba manages to live on 1 HP. And with the TP at the ready, it's almost like he never lost anything at all.
Oh my goodness. And it's like sub 50 HP at that there. Boba living by the skin of his teeth.
It's a disaster for Clorm, I fear, but hey, more for the UM-Flint legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. Loki with the crash down, gets the Q, forcing the flash out. This Zaya needing to play a little bit more defensively as the Sejuani moves to intercept. But UM-Flint already stopping with that little engage there. It's good trades from UM-Flint. Really not trades at all, unfortunately.
It's looking pretty one-sided, I gotta admit. I mean,
yeah,
it's a full item difference between Chube and Rai. You can't really trade into a Tristana with a full Yuntal when all you have is scraps.
Caulfield's Warhammer.
And a pickaxe.
Ain't no way.
It really is not enough. You're going to lose every single trade if you try to go for something here. Loki trying to recall on Vision, looking for the crash down, not quite enough to find, but does manage to find the Q onto Rai. Not quite an angle for Chu to go for a rocket jump in at all, but still, it's some extra poke onto this Zaya, which can prove deadly for her if any more shenanigans ensue. Sejuani leaving the bot side, really making this bot lane uncomfortable for this blue side here. But with the wave crashing in, there might not be any more available plays. In terms of game state, you still have Villager crushing down on this Yone. The Bramble is in the inventory. 300,000 armor has been achieved. Sejuani is getting ready to hover topside. We do see the intent to gank, but the ward is down. Villager does get hit by both ultimates here. Looking for the ultimate out. Does manage to get out, but it's not quite enough. Fresher covering the gap with the Yone E. Finds the kill.
And this Yone now going to be eating a little bit better. Certainly did have to kind of convert those 2 ultis, but I mean, it's for good reason. And I think with these grubs coming up soon, it could be bad. G-Touch.
Oh, the Yone kind of forcing his position in front of the tower here. Tanks a turret shot, and G-Touch is just looking to completely run him down. Another kill to this Diana, and with that kind of just gives the grubs back over to G-Touch. This Sejuani cannot contest a Diana, even with this Spectre's Callow in the inventory. It's a full Leandries. You can't really do much into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, might be a bit of a scuffle over grubs as Victor moving right over, maybe hoping to steal at least one. Cage goes down, does in fact tag Boba, but not going to be too much there as G-Touch getting defended by his mid laner. Very, very solidly done from UM-Flint.
I think both mid laners kind of just had a handshake there that they were not going to be able to get the grubs if the Victor tried to walk. You know, you're not going to do much against a 3-in-1 Diana with an Orianna with Shockwave up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think UM-Flint in nearly every single lane, well, actually every single lane, still massively up. I mean, despite this Yone having 2 kills over our Malphite here, it is still, I think, the fact that the Malphite is able to keep up this wave clear, maybe you can attribute some of that to this Bammy Cinder and his ability to stay in lane just a lot longer.
I'm a little bit confused at what's going on in the bot lane here. You know, you have Loki kind of just standing by, waiting for something to happen. And because of that, the Sejuani is able to find the steal onto the Drake. But the big Diana, or with the Shockwave, does connect onto the Sejuani and Victor. The Victor goes down, but so does G-Touch. Boba able to find some more kills. It's a double kill for Chube as well, managing to flash out. Nudzi is denied of another kill, and Boba walks out with his life. It's kind of a disaster in terms of objective control. You know, you have your Rel kind of just sitting in the bot side brushes while you're waiting for a fight to happen, but still netted to be a gigantic gold injection for UM-Flint, so not the worst possible turnout, but definitely not how it should have went.
Yeah, no, for absolute sure. But UM-Flint still able to secure a tower off of the series of events. Maybe not the play necessarily, because I don't think they intended for that one to happen.
I do not believe so either. But either way, we're heading into a very, very neutral game state. No objectives are up. Kind of just letting the laners play it through. There's a significant lead in this mid and bot side. Now, G-Touch trying to walk up mid, looking to collapse onto Clorm here. I'm not sure if they're aware to Fresher's positioning. Loki has arrived to this mid side here. No vision in this bush, kind of denying them a lot of possible pressure here. It's a bit scary, you know? The map looks fairly dark. UM-Flint does not quite have this vision control that they're looking for. Supports are completely across the map from the bot lane. Magma has ended up in the top lane here. Villager might not be wary of this as the Yone looks to E forward. Lulu shields come through. The trade is big, but doesn't really net a kill. Loki is now in a precarious situation. Kind of pinched between a lot of members. Does find the crash out. And now the map is kind of whatever, you know. You can tell that Trent are heavily playing for these grubs because their bot side might be a little bit cooked. You have this gigantic line of vision across this top side river. You have Chu moving over to mid, being 6-0-2, kind of guarantees a grub win if he's just allowed to live. Now it's just a waiting game to see who messes up before or during these grubs.
Yeah, absolutely. Loki here still playing super aggressive, just forward. The crash down actually catching the Q as well. The Magnet Storm to boot, and it is Chube who does in fact find the Lulu. Not going to get much more onto this Xayah, having to expend the ulti there.
That is a lot of damage. And now we see on these on this top side, Fresher trying to fully engage onto G-Touch. Forced to flash out, but I don't think it's enough to run away from a Diana. Q comes through, the burn is ticking, and G-Touch finds the kill. And now it's a free Rift Herald for UM-Flint.
It is just clean. UM-Flint able to really recover after that little incident there, and now really continuing to dominate this top side.
Yeah, it's definitely UM-Flint's game to take here. You know, you have a lot of prio in these lanes. You have a gigantic lead across this mid-bot side. It's very easy to just set yourself up for success here. Nudzi trying to, you know, clean up the deficit a little bit with this counter jungle on the bot side. Boba could potentially getting dove here on this next wave, but I don't even know if Nudzi and and Victor have the damage needed for this.
Yeah, definitely just going to be Boba staying by his lonesome, and not even the Sejuani really wanting to go for this, as she does in fact need to hover mid after UM-Flint kind of show themselves quite a bit over there. Just really trying to gain control of this bot side as Otacon up in really only a few minutes, so still they're really trying to gain that same sort of vision control they had early on for those grubs, but now needing to find some sort of objective to really start putting them back into the game. Loki taking the Hex Gate all the way over, trying to find an angle onto this Lulu, not going to quite find anything, and UM-Flint pushing back at Trent University.
I mean, all you have to do as well is kind of deny all this space, and by being in there, the crash down, completely finding a pretty big win there. Magma's flash has been expended, and now this Lulu is an easy pick at the hands of UM-Flint here. You know, it's a little bit rough not being able to spot out this Rel in your own jungle, but that's just how it is. When you can't find control of your own jungle, you're going to get engaged on, you're going to get griefed, and you're going to just completely lose absolutely everything you've built up here. Now, we do see this dragon falling very low. G-Touch has secured it, and now Loki is looking to engage onto this backline. Loki with the Magnet Storm looking to take out Nudesy. Chudes is there. Chudes is there to find the kill. And now it's UM-Flint with a very successful heist on this dragon here.
Yeah, certainly. And now looking for a little bit more. Loki canceling the recall as he continues in, still playing super far forward, just trying to cover for G-Touch as the Rift Herald does go in. This mid-tier 1 does in fact fall. G-Touch gonna pilot this yet again. No auto attacks for the longest time, it seemed, on
I was a little bit concerned. I saw the Rift Herald on 40 HP that entire time, and it's just auto
for like 3 full seconds.
Auto. Hello.
Yeah,
you have Victor.
Yeah.
But that turned out to be, you know, not too impactful anyways. It didn't get the second crash, but Villager's recall does get canceled out by Fresher, but I don't think there's really a whole lot of merit in that. No objectives are up. Magma even being topside, I'm not sure how big of a difference it'll make. Just getting some extra shields against the Malphite. Villager still has the ultimate at the ready, so I don't think he ever dies to a Lulu Yone gank, so.
Yeah, and still with this tower up as well.
In the bot side, you have Loki looking to engage on the Clorm here alongside Boba. Pressure does TP back over. Yone R comes through, and Loki might have been completely abandoned by Boba. Does manage to flash out. Q3 does land over the wall. Chaos Storm as well. The shield from the crashdown does let Loki live. And G-Touch with the flash forward and the ultimate does net a big engage. Boba finds a kill on the Clorm, and this surprisingly, you know, in-seeming play from Loki has turned into a beautifully well-turned-out result for UM-Flint.
I mean, just the hanging nail there from UM-Flint. Loki surviving with only a few hundred health, and UM-Flint just able to find that re-engage so clean and just so nice.
You know, of being able to just completely catch everyone out by surprise. G-Touch just being there really put a wrench in Trent's operation here.
Yeah, certainly. And you know, Trent, they of course are trying to go for picks, but you know, anything at this point really helps out. Anything that will try and stall the game out even longer, taking down this Rel while she's exposed would have been nice, but unfortunately for Trent University, this Rel was not in fact exposed, very much leading them to their ultimate demise.
And the ambulance was called for the Loki trying to face check. Clorm kind of just completely missing the E. The crashdown comes down and it lands onto 2. Magnet Storm finds all 3. Chube is looking to capitalize off of it. The Zaya is forced to flash out, but the stun from Loki does connect once again onto the Zaya. Rocket jumping, all the resets coming through for Chube. Flashing forward, both flashes are expended. Chaos Storm coming through onto Chube. Fresher does manage to find the shutdown onto the Shisana, but G-Touch is now running rampant onto Nudesy, and the Sejuani goes down. It's a 3-4-1 for UM-Flint. The shutdown does go over to the Yone, but it is still a pretty big win.
Absolutely massive for UM-Flint. That Yone is getting a lot of gold, but not sure if he's going to be really able to turn that into much here, as the rest of his laners, especially kind of just feeling the brunt of UM-Flint's lead here.
Oh no, for sure. I'm looking at the scoreboard, and it's definitely scary to look at as Fresher here. Oh, looking to engage onto Boba. The R comes through. Boba does not successfully flash it. Loki trying to peel away. Does manage to make him live through the Yone. Zaya ultimate comes out. But this movement speed from the Zaya might be able to catch. Nope. It is not. Barrier is expended as well. And Boba walks out with his life. And now it's a lot of ults. Lots of cooldowns used right before this drag. And it might prove rough for Trent to try and contest. All things considered, Loki did manage to cancel out the Zaya's recall, so it might be pretty cooked for Trent if they try to contest. G-Touch does engage onto Slorm as well, and he just dies.
That is an ultra cooked victor, and Loki with the crash down Magnet Storm to boot again as the stuns come out. Loki getting a bit punished here as the Sejuani does go with this permafrost. The Yone to follow up as well. UM-Flint needing to retreat just a little bit further, but really the only one taking the brunt of the damage, Loki, and that's just what UM-Flint want.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty rough situation for Trent to deal with. You kind of need to be able to find these engages onto Boba, but Nudzi is a little bit too behind, a little bit too squishy to find these angles. And with that, UM-Flint have secured the third dragon of the game.
Hextech Soul as well. This game on a Tristana is going to be just pretty bonkers. Hard to run over UM-Flint when they've just got so much. Inevitably, it seems.
I mean, what do you do into UM-Flint's team comp when every couple autos just slows you for like 50%? There's nothing you can do. And we might be able to see that very soon. Unfortunately, Trent's comp in mind, even with their scaling, it might not be enough against Hextech Soul, against this unfathomable lead that UM-Flint have amassed. It's 10k gold. That is a gigantic difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And no one on Trent's side really making a massive amount of headway in their solo lanes either. As I had told you before, right click, the idea of scaling in the middle of a game here, it's absolutely massive when you have this sort of draft, but I think at the same time you need a winning lane at the very least.
For sure. I mean, considerably, it's like all of these lanes except for maybe top lane could go either way. So maybe Trent were just looking to coin flip it into their possible scaling, but kind of proves to be a little bit difficult as UM-Flint kind of just take this Nash and look to engage onto mid. Loki flashing forward with the Magnet Storm. Chube is looking to jump forward. Sejuani ult does land, but it might not be enough for her to live. Lulu ult does manage to give her a lot of HP. Rocket jumping forward. It's a lot of damage from Chube, but it's not quite enough. And with that, it's a lot of pressure on the bot side from Chlorm. Bot T1 has been taken, but there's also 5 people mid, and Villager ults forward, and the Zaya just evaporates. What do you even do as that? You can't react to that without, flash, without the heads up, without being a little bit more than that amount of distance away. So kind of tragic for this Zaya.
UM-Flint not going to go for the end quite yet here. Tube on very low mana. UM-Flint trying not to extend their resources overly too much. They know an ace here for the enemy team could be very costly to their chances. Even though they are quite up, they want to get this done as soon as possible.
Oh, for sure. You don't want any shenanigans ensuing like last week. We don't talk about that series.
We certainly do not, as Villager going to be on his lonesome here. Does, in fact, take out this tower using the R and the flash, but going straight into his demise as the shutdown is secured by this Sejuani. And UM-Flint gonna need to play a little bit more safe here. Gonna need to kind of starve Trent University as they continue to push these minions in.
Does manage to rocket jump away from this glacial prison, and now this this use of ultimates from Trent might be bad. It's a level 17 G-Touch. Might be looking to get an engage in here soon. Even with this rough off-tempo timers that they might be taking a little bit, but G-Touch is kind of just running down the Sejuani. He's tanky. He's got the damage. The Lulu ult comes out, but it's not quite enough. Chube is just running through Trent, flashing forward. Ride goes down. It's another rocket jump at the ready. Bomb goes through on the Magma. Looking for the auto. It's a double kill for Chube. Completely just running through Trent. Now, UM-Flint don't quite have a wave. If they sit here and wait for the mid wave, it might be enough to end the game. Chube has a lot of range. No flash at the ready, but there might be enough peel for him to kind of go nuclear in this next fight. Villager and Boba kind of taking up the torch here, looking to engage on the Chlorm, the Shockwave. Malphite ult combo is not quite enough to delete this Victor. Fresher still trying to save it with some trading onto this Malphite, but it's a little bit rough. Villager is just completely running him down, tanking both the towers. It's nothing to this monolith of a rock. Chube getting poked out by Chlorm here. Zonius is forced out by Boba. A little bit questionable. Forced to flash away. G-Touch looking to E back in with the big ultimate. Lulu Or does deny a lot of that, but it's not enough. The Sejuani ult missed. Zaya's kind of pumping away, looking to flash onto the Victor. It's not enough damage. Chlorm is able to find the shutdown onto G-Touch, and Boba is now forced to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit terrifying for you of Flint, as it's going to be this Victor that certainly does make a lot of headway here, getting the kill, but Flint do have these waves pushing and crashing, but they do in fact have a Hextech Soul just waiting for them to claim.
You know, I have a slight suspicion that might have given Chlorm a decent amount of confidence. I see a Magi's in his inventory. There is a Magi Soul Stealer in this 1 in 5 Victor's inventory.
Classic.
There's also a tier. There's a lot of issues going on here, I fear.
Certainly 360 tiers are what I'm kind of feeling after seeing that, unfortunately. But it's going to be Villager just walking through, moving as fast as he possibly can, as it's going to be Trent University securing an objective bounty on this top lane turret. The tier 1 finally falling, but credit to Villager, it's staying up for 30 whole minutes.
I mean, how do you ever push into a top tier 1 as Yone into a Malphite? You kind of just, you walk up, you get your attack speed reduced by 50%. You can't kill, a slight feigned engage onto Fresher, forcing him to ult out. That gives a lot of pressure over to UM-Flint, actually. You know, not having the risk of a Yone ult for this Orianna gives her a lot of room to work around in these fights.
Certainly, and UM-Flint just letting the wave crash out here. Loki might be able to find an angle.
Not quite face checking, but Nudzi cancels their recall regardless. Last cone's out.
Bit of a funny trade there.
that was one of the interactions of all time, I gotta admit.
Certainly was. Just
it was
two big boulders just hitting each other. Nothing chipping off though.
We got a horse and a pig. It's a little farm in this jungle. I don't know what kind of farms being ran in the jungle here, but it was certainly something. Wait a minute, why is Nudzi hex gating into his own jungle with no vision?
Yeah, this trade here not going to be very funny for Trent University, as Nudzi going to be a little bit caught out. UM-Flint not wanting to commit too much here, as they are wary of the possibility of Trent University's re-engage. Could be very disastrous, and they do not want to leave anything up to chance. In fact, they are going to want to start this Baron here. With all the pressure they have forward, they're going to want to take this Baron Nashor right now. It's Loki Just trying to continue to zone off Trent University, the crash down, the Magnet Storm, and Villager with this Malphite are crashing in. UM-Flint shredding them apart. This Yone still trying to find more and more. Nudesy completely caught out, and this Victor needing to just swallow defeat and move back to the Nexus to defend as UM-Flint call for the end.
I mean, it was to be expected, I won't lie. With the Yone R not being up at a good time, with just an absolute amount of prio from UM-Flint, all the vision in the world, all the vision control, it's just impossible for anything to happen. And it looks like they are taking this game 1.
I think the Zed is certainly going to change what happened game 1 here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I feel like Chlorum's mechanics on Victor probably highlights what could have happened on Zed. Surely that's a hard matchup for him. But considering the fact that Zed just got buffed, and Boba usually likes to play these control mages that, you know, feel a little bit scared at times, it probably is a fine ban.
That's fair.
You barely even have to hit a lot of Qs on Zed to remove a mage from the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And a very similar draft here from Trent Green, not even looking for that rel that gave them so much trouble, I think. Very interesting here. UM-Flint Blue instead picking that Leona. We know Loki just loves playing these supports that are so upfront, these engaged supports that, in fact, are just in your face all the time, have all the armor in the world, and are just durable. This guy loves playing in your face. He's got that Mickey X energy.
I mean, he does not show any concerns over getting in their face at all. We've seen this time after time, looking for every single engage possible. It's pretty creative, very fun to watch. But we do see a little bit of a wrench here in the name of Morgana. You know, just being able to deny and engage on a singular person can be a little bit difficult for Leona to play through, yeah. But it's only one person, and Leona R can hit multiple.
Yeah.
So there is some potential there, but in the lane, it does prove to be a little bit difficult if you can't bait it out, or if you can't just kill them when your Leona walks on. So might prove to be a little bit difficult for UM-Flint here. But it's not something that I haven't seen overcome just yet.
Yeah, I think it's a solid draft from Trent Green, though, starting off with that Morgana, just knowing that they need to deny kind of more of these setups from UM-Flint. They like that CC, and they, you know, showed us with that last draft, and, you know, with the Black Shield here, might be very nice. And instead, UM-Flint, I'm going to stick on the Misfortune. Definitely going to be pretty nice into this Caitlyn. Not too bad, I don't think.
I mean, it's an okay matchup for sure. It's I think a little bit heavier on the MF side here, considering the fact that she has a Morgana and the MF has a Leona. Because in that lane, if you don't have the Black Shield, you kind of just die.
Yeah.
Can't really walk up and all that because there's constant pressure being applied through the idea of this Sun Lady walking at you with a million CCs. And Talon doesn't help either. You know,
yeah, I mean, really cool pick here. I think might be the G-Touch special. I mean, certainly not the Talon top. Surely not. I don't know if I don't
think Villager really dabbles into Talon a whole lot, so I don't think we'll see that in the top lane.
Don't tell me draft broke. Dang it! Bugged question mark coming out from our chat. Not having to retry the.
They picked Nefiri, actually.
Okay, all right, they did pick Nefiri, so I think they'll just have to draft the same way on both sides. Leading up to that, so definitely interesting with this Nefiri. A nice mix of ranged and melee, but going into Misfortune Talon certainly is.
I mean, I think Nefiri is turbo busted right now. I think if this Nefiri gets a lead, it might go out of hand very quickly. You kind of need point and click, or you need a lot more CC than what's offered than just a single Leona, or you need a little bit more denial, say from like a Poppy or something.
Right,
that would save them a lot, but I don't think there will be a Poppy in this game.
Yeah, because I don't think MFE is going to be very supplementary in that sort of denial. Yeah.
Nope.
So, oh, there we go.
Oh, are we back?
Are we back?
We
chat?
banning.
We banning, chat? Finally back to where we were in the bands. We're back at the draft. Give me something to be excited about. I think Grubby Turtle, in fact, definitely manifesting the Belveth from G-Touch, but unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna.
We locked the Talon. We got pretty creative here.
Yeah, certainly. And it's going to be the Yone ban from UM-Flint Blue here. Definitely interesting, seeing as the Yone is the only one who got any mileage there from Trent that last game there. And also looking at this LeBlanc ban as well. Not looking like Boba wants to play against this mage, having... did that visual rework come out?
For
LeBlanc?
I think so.
Or is it still in PBE?
It's either that or next patch. It might be next patch.
Well...
Since it's yeah, no, it's next patch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
This is interesting though. The Gwen coming out, definitely going to work well against, I think, Villagers' typical like weak side gameplay, just like tank.
You might need to look at the screen.
Okay, then Kenan, now we're talking. Now we're talking. That's what I'm saying, Villager. Okay, now the draft has really spun into a different light. I like the Gwen and Villager answering in kind.
That's a very creative pick from Villager. I have not seen this man play Kenan, so
that's fire.
That is pretty neat. I gotta admit.
That's fire.
You kind of just get to run into them and ruin their days along with your Leona.
Yeah.
So there might be some destruction going on in this game. I think everyone in this game is also pretty squishy, which helps a whole lot with the whole one-shot idea for this Talon Cannon.
Ooh.
Lucian mid?
Yeah, I mean,
in this day and age?
Where else would it go but also Lucian mid?
What year is it?
It certainly isn't 2023, right? Like, that's crazy.
Dude, that's like a 2021 pick.
That is crazy. But, like...
That's not right.
Well, I guess 2023 was more like... Ziggs mid or like what is
it was a lot of Silas.
2023 really?
Yeah. That was the year DRX.
No, that's 22.
Oh wait,
23 is Weibo Gaming.
Oh yeah, no, that was
Weibo Gaming 2.
Okay, never mind.
So I was right.
I think so.
Let's go! Okay, it's okay.
My timeline is so cooked.
Thank goodness. Okay, I understand. Look, LoL Esports, like that's the only way I can keep track of old metas is like it's in there. The vault is good, bro. I'm cooking, okay? But still, yeah, this Lucian pick very controversial, I think, to say the least.
It's actually Nefiri jungle. Kind of expected it to be swapped around between the Gwen and Nefiri, but this is arguably a better matchup for the Nefiri.
The match, UM-Flint versus Trent University. Trent University against the wall. UM-Flint on this blue side looking to end the series. Trent University looking to stay alive for one more game. And I did the sound backwards. Hold on, chat.
Wrong one.
Oh,
wait. Might be a little bit of some level 1 shenanigans here. The Morgana Q goes wide. Loki might be in a little bit deep, but the Talon W slow is enough for Loki to walk away. They do manage to find the ward in his jungle, but I don't think it really tells you anything about his pathing. So, little bit of a botched operation from Trent. You know, could have been played a lot better.
Yeah, certainly just a little too far from the Raptors there. As Trent just going to be on their classic point defense. Meanwhile, Boba and G-Touch getting into a bit of action here near the enemy Raptors. Trent University still going to find some trades there, but really it's between both of these mid laners anyway. in about the same amount as well. So might be an early kill going to either one of these, depending how they play out this wave.
Yeah, it is a little bit scary. Boba does manage to take the first ability of this lane, so there could be a little bit of risk at hand. But the push of an Orianna early game could be a little bit rough for Clorm. He looks to be respecting it a decent amount, so might not be too many shenanigans in the mid lane just yet. Oh, Fresher looking to get aggressive onto Villager with the E forward. Does manage to trade back straight into the minion wave. This Doran's Blade start really showing the damage with the autos here. Level 2 transition very soon. It's one melee minion off. Villager has a potential angle here. Fresher still a level down. Being forced to get zoned off the wave here with this level difference. If Villager walks forward, I think Summoner could be taken. But
Just, I mean,
Also-
super solid for Villager.
also in
this
the
early.
bot lane and in the mid lane, there's a lot of shenanigans. I saw a lot of Summoner spells being used here, and then Boba has been taken down by Clorm. So it's just
We've got to see this.
non-stop action this game already. What? Did he flash in place? Or is that just a visual bug? What?
We want to watch that back once more.
Yeah, I don't even know what.
Let's see. Let's see it, chat. Yeah, Boba getting
Okay.
up a little too close.
Walking past his minions so far. Clorm just. What?
I think flashing right as the ability or the auto pops off there.
I think that's just a visual bug because I don't think that auto ever goes through if he doesn't like flash forward. And I saw like the little trail of how he dashed backwards, but I can't explain. Riot's got some work to do, I fear.
Just, hey, you gotta take it easy on them. Small indie company, really trying their best out here. This Morgana really looking for the Q, definitely trying to zone off these two, but Tube just feeling really good, completely just getting this Caitlyn off of his back and continuing to get this push really solidly here in the bot lane.
just some chill trades going on. Nothing too excessive.
Not very chill trades in this top lane,
Oh.
though. Some very unchill trades, in fact. Villager
Don't
down
know
a
what
level.
Don't know what happened in the couple seconds that we were not looking, but might be a little bit rough for Villager here.
Definitely seems to be. Oh my
Ooh,
goodness!
Fresher does manage to find that flash EQ and walks out with his life. Very, very big solo kill for this Gwen here. Being able to garner that lead early against a Kennen really helps in this game because they need someone to be winning. They can't have a situation like last game.
Yeah, no doubt about it here. Uzi, claiming that bottom scuttle. And Bulba is still stuck under tower, just taking so much poke from this Lucian.
It is very rough for this Orianna, I fear. Not being able to, play those trades out early in a safe manner really leads to this situation where you're down CS, or, well, up one, but, like, down a kill, lost a decent amount of XP. It's definitely a rough mid lane situation to be in, but here we see some more trading in the top lane. Villager not quite able to find the damage onto this Gwen. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a bit much off the top, you think?
Certainly, I think Gwen not going to give Villager a fade, rather going to fade nearly half of his life away.
We going bald now, actually.
Yeah, unfortunately, a bit of the gray matter taken there.
Ooh. This is not a great look for this Kennen. I think the trade is possibly winning. Some more abilities just have to be used. I just haven't seen Villager press E yet, which is a little bit concerning. This Gwen is now level 6. Villager's 1 HP, no TP. Has flash at the ready, but I don't know if it's enough for living out this gank or this possible dive from Fresher.
Yeah, I mean, this Gwen's so oppressive. Villager just gonna get out of there. This Fresher does pick up a plate. Might be a second here as G-Touch.
G-Touch looking to jump over onto Fresher here. A no stack snip does lead to a very low amount of damage, but G-Touch might not know that Nudesy is right around the corner. No vision. The W comes through. G-Touch is forced to flash out. Nudesy following with his own flash, but no abilities after. Just there for pure aura. This Nefiri is aura farming in this game too here.
Yeah, no doubt. No fear whatsoever. -1. Unfortunate. You're in the mid lane. Boba just really trying his best. Oh my goodness, Tube.
In the bot lane here, a kill onto Rai and a double kill for Tube, leading to a winning lane for UM-Flint. This is exactly what they need this game. They don't quite have that early game presence that they had in that game 1, but it might be another situation where they have to play through Tube to take this one home.
Yeah. I think here now the grub's given over there. G-Touch just having taken too much damage. Gonna need to just trade out the Drake, and they'll be pretty happy with that. I think UM-Flint just taking advantage of the bot lane prio. Not gonna be too bad to start stacking Drakes early on here.
For sure. You know, Drake's never really hurt anybody, but this is wildly off timer. The culling coming through from Clorm does not quite land onto anybody. Tube and Loki, no flashes in the pit, are forced to die. And now it's a very equalizing play over to Trent as the Caitlyn picks up a double kill. Might be a little bit rough for UM-Flint so far.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Trent going to pick up that feat of warfare, and it's just going to be UM-Flint really needing to look for the next 2 objectives.
Oh, Fresher looking to get very aggressive on the Villager. Does manage to find the stun. Dodges the last tick of this Gwen ultimate and does walk out with his life, but it is still extremely rough here. You know, being down a bit of CS, lots of XP. It's a hard angle to work through if you're Villager here. And Boba isn't having any fun either. Dashing forward, Clorm is now stuck at the mercy of G-Touch, trying to flash away from the shockwave. It's not enough, and G-Touch picks up the kill onto this Lucian.
Oh, Boba nearly meeting his end, but the kill actually coming through before that Lucian's ability could land.
I mean, that was a little bit scary from this Orianna. Wait, Fresher just walking into G-Touch's jungle here. Nudesy is ready to follow, looking to get the smite in, possibly. No smite ready. Does smite the blue buff, runs away, but the Nefiri R is here. The cannon has the ultimate at the ready. The invulnerability comes out from the Nefiri. No shockwave on Boba might be a little bit difficult. The healing on this Gwen does prove pretty good, but Villager is able to take out Nudesy, and it looks like Fresher goes down to the hands of Boba.
Ooh, that's just a bit of an unfortunate play, but the sun comes down, shining down onto this Morgana. Loki with the R interrupt onto this Caitlyn, and it's a great R from Tube, finding so much that bullet time combo coming out, and Loki
this is truly a Leona moment.
just able to just hit Caitlyn.
Okay, now we're getting a little bit too creative. Dodge the kill.
Oh, that's not exactly what Loki wanted there for sure.
Moderate overplay from this Leona here. A little bit concerning.
It looked good for a little bit, but just one auto too much, and that Q quite punishing.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough trying to walk at a Caitlyn, you know, as Leona. And if the ADC has, you know, a mild amount of damage, you kind of lose that 1v1. But you kind of just got to play it through. Clorm able to spot out G-Touch on this mid wave. Getting a little bit of damage in, but not quite impactful enough. Nudesy hovering top, not on vision, but looks like he's pretty aware of the situation here. Villager kind of just chilling out, waiting for the wave to bounce in. Nudesy trying to get some space in G-Touch's jungle. No camps for him here. Kind of a slow play, but there's a lot hovering mid. The moment that Boba walks up, it could be an absolute disaster for this Orianna here.
Only gonna need to play safe. Once again, so much presence here on this mid lane.
Ooh, Loki gets a stun onto Nudesy, looking to fully engage, committing the ultimate G-Touch as well, using everything onto this Defiri. Does go down at the hands of the Leona. The bullet time doing a lot of damage, zoning off the Morgana. Shockwave comes through onto Loki as well. It takes down Clorm. G-Touch is able to confirm the kill. Morgana Q comes out. Loki looks like he's going to have to fall at the hands of the turret, but G-Touch with the double kill evens it all out.
Yeah, I mean, still super solid for U of M-Flint there. Just trading out Loki really mostly to the tower does in fact kind of give that kill over, but still, I think rather lose the Leona there than anyone else.
True. And with that, UM-Flint have actually garnered some bounties.
Yeah, no
considering
doubt.
how rough this early game looked for UM-Flint, they've recovered pretty nicely actually.
And I think it's going to be still a bit tough as Nefiri going to be scooping up these grubs. Loki maybe here to try and find just a little bit of vision. Find maybe a singular grub to deny the objective, at least. If they take one, kind of that feat could be denied. Loki going to go in as Villager. Popping out here, does in fact use the R, and G-Touch going to come in, take this last grub, denying that final feat.
I mean, unfortunately, it's not the most impactful last grub to steal. You kind of have to take away 2 there to deny 5 grubs. That's the big point. Because being able to just siege with this team comp, especially considering the fact that they have the range advantage here with the Caitlyn, does prove to be a little bit difficult. It might be a little bit hard for UM-Flint to deal with their turret taking power in the late game, but kind of just got to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I think more of a consolation prize that Trent University doesn't quite yet have the feats of strength, but definitely UM-Flint still in it to fight over this Drake here.
Everyone's a little bit off tempo here. Everyone's just been fighting along this mid lane. Loki with the shockwave as well is able to engage on the Clorm. The magic shield really denying a lot of Boba's damage. Does manage to find the kill, but now Loki is stranded in the middle of Narnia between every single member of this top side here. And it's a kill over to Fresher. G-Touch kind of camping away, hoping to find some sneaky little pick. Not quite able to find the kill on the Nudesy. Morgana R comes through. The flash goes forward. The Morgana Q lands. Can he escape it before Nudesy walks up? Yes, he can. The CC is not enough for this Talon just yet. As I said, not having more than 1 piece of CC in that fight might be difficult. G-Touch does spot out the Morgana on the sweeper, but the Q goes wide. Pry falling dangerously low might be enough to give Pryo over for this dragon. Boba, fresh off a TP, might be able to claim some space on this mid lane.
Yeah, and it's Boba. I'm going to be able to throw some damage over to this Gwen just to punish just a little bit. But going to be this back from G-Touch. Nobody's going to be claiming this Mountain Drake quite yet. Nefiri getting maybe some vision. Maybe, I think, in fact, claiming that Scuttle. Just get a little bit more of that pressure here towards this Drake in the river. It's now just Boba and Fresher sitting here in lane. Boba is slowed by the R, and he's going to be pretty hard pressed to escape this Gwen as Loki tries to find an angle, but no one is near to follow up. Unfortunate there for Boba.
Fresher, an absolutely aggressive demon, just trying to find every single all-in angle when possible. Finding these kills back to back to back is just proving to be very effective for Trent. They needed this. They needed that top lane aggression, and to find that that win on the other side of the map. Here on this dragon, the Gwen has recalled, so there might be a potential angle for this dragon. The Leona does manage to connect on the Nudzi. G-Touch is looking to finish it out. Wins the 50-50 smite. The Drake is stolen, and it looks like they're playing for out. Wait, they might be looking straight into a bullet time here. Loki turning it around with the Leona, or G-Touch flashing straight in, taking out the Caitlyn. The Neferi R-ing forward, does not matter. He goes down, and Magma falls as well to the hands of Chub. Villager with the TP in, looking to deny Clorm any space on this fight. And surprisingly, it's a fairly big win for UM-Flint. It's a 3-4-1 there, along with the Drake.
Yeah, absolutely. They do, in fact, trade out this top turret, but UM-Flint getting closer to that soul point.
Ooh.
And Fresher going in, really wanting G-Touch here. Going to give him a bit of a run for his money, but does, in fact, use the Blast Cone to escape the wrath of Villager.
I mean, now, with this top T1 taken, if Fresher ever gets, like, deep vision, he can kind of just own this topside jungle, and G-Touch is gonna not have a fun time here.
Might be an angle from Loki. He does get in pretty deep. Gets the ward down onto this red buff.
Ooh. There looks like UM-Flint are looking for a potential play on these Raptors here. Bots out Nudzi on the vision.
Chub just going to be holding out here, waiting for everyone to get their resets off. Meanwhile, it's going to be Villager actually claiming back some get back here on this tier 1 top turret.
Form might be looking for this kill here, just running straight into the minion wave. Villager trading along with it. The rocket belt comes through, the ultimate as well. This Lucian is perma CC'd, and Clorm, way too overconfident, goes down. But now at the hands of the mercy of this Neferi and Morgana, Villager cannot stay standing. Shut down over to this Neferi.
Yeah, and that's pretty solid for the Neferi, but UM-Flint gonna have a lot of leeway with this Lucian down to just look for this Herald here. I mean, they're still gonna get some pushback. Neferi on the reset. UM-Flint just really good on this timing.
Oh yeah, no. I think Clorm just running at Villager randomly in the top lane kind of offset their timers a little bit.
Definitely over or maybe underestimating the power of Kennen in that scenario. Only a level down there, but still just able to use the wave and literally the entire kit against him.
Yeah, Kevin base damage is a little bit rough. This guy is a little bit sad to play against, I fear.
You called Kennen Kevin?
I love Kevin. I call Darius Garius as well. Or just Gary. Not even Garen. Like
unbelievable from you, honestly.
Is there an issue with this?
I don't know. We'll have a chat decide, but gonna be Fresher here. Trying to clear out this wave. It's the Boba versus Fresher special, as both junglers hovering by, but in fact, I think Boba going to be alone here as he does send the orb, and might be a really unfortunate position, but Boba actually recognizing the possibilities here. Does in fact pull this wave a little bit further back, closer to a safer position.
I mean, there is still potential to walk away with this Archangel's Rush on the Orianna with Shockwave up. You can kind of kite out melee champs relatively easily, unless he gets hit by every proc of Gwenar. I think this Orianna is usually out from that spot, even if they go a little early.
Now, gonna be this Gwen and Neferi looking for this rotate. UM-Flint, not sure if they're any wiser here, as this mid T1 very low. It's looking like Trent want to make a play here. They don't see G-Touch in the bush.
Ooh. Magma? Nudzi? They don't walk into it, but the TP coming through from the Kennen here, looking for an absolutely gigantic engage. It's a big ultimate into a bullet time combo. Chub finding so much damage onto this team. Rai also taking a lot of damage, even though he's under the tower. The culling going through onto Chub. Villager landing and or living from the ace in the hole as well. Loki trying to engage on the Clorm, does not quite land it, but G-Touch is here, and the Lucian explodes at the hands of this Noxian assassin.
UM-Flint using their health bars to the utmost, and now crashing Shelly into this tier 1. Trent really looking for UM-Flint's tier 1, but they didn't quite know how in danger their own was. As UM-Flint do, in fact, get 2 charges off of Shelly.
I mean, that was an absolutely beautiful TP from Villager. You know, I don't even know if Trent recognized that that was a TP for a second. They kind of just stood there.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we kill the cannon that surely won't ult us all.
Yeah, they just don't realize how slippery that cannon can be. And, I mean, he really was. UM-Flint able to secure Cloud Drake, and that is sole point for UM-Flint.
There is an Oblivion Orb in my Leona's inventory. Either way,
Okay,
in the top lane here, Chube kind of just scouting out his own jungle, does manage to spot out Fresher. Could have been a little bit scary there. Had it been on a better timing for Fresher, I would be a little bit worried otherwise. But Chube, with the Yomus, with the MF passive W, kind of just walks away at how much move speed? 500? Just for fun?
Just for fun. Yeah.
MF is so insane right now. It's just like movement speed is the most broken stat in the game, and when you have an ungodly amount of it, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
These Swifties to boot, literally.
Boot.
Boot.
Boots of swiftness. You know?
Yeah, UM-Flint here. Just looking to really defend G-Touch on this blue buff. They know Trent gets really aggressive on this topside jungle. They have so much vision, in fact, as well. UM-Flint looking to clear some waves, make some... Alright, sorry, chat.
Nope.
And they're both full health into this here.
Shockwave coming through from Boba. Clorm is kind of just stuck, and both flashes go through. A little bit overkill from Boba on that flash, but Clorm does go down in the end.
Ooh, the mastery flash as well.
Into getting ran down by Gwen. Arguably deserved.
That is an Oriana moment if I've ever seen one.
Ooh, I mean, being able to see this Gwen on the bot side allows UM-Flint to pressure out this Otacon, and with no one being particularly privy to it, it looks like UM-Flint will be taking this Otacon in place of a bot and mid tower, which in the long game is pretty rough to give up, you know?
Yeah.
Not being able to find any more priority easily is extremely difficult.
And some more waves crashing as well as a result. Gonna be some pretty solid damage here on this bot turret.
You know, it's a lot of waves being dropped for UM-Flint. Not being able to find these dropped waves kind of mitigates that XP gain that they got from the Otacon, which can be a little bit scary in the late game.
Yeah, Trent definitely improving the way that they're playing the map here. Very, very much looking to exert all of that pressure, looking to really, really find their angles with a pretty solid amount of vision towards kind of these inner sides of the jungle, just trying not to get caught out as much here.
For sure. Yeah, they're definitely playing it a bit more reserved, you know, giving some more much needed space over to UM-Flint. But we do see this very odd lane assignment. It looks like Boba just got completely ran over in the top lane from this double engagement from Fresher and Clorm. And this top T2 is completely evaporating in front of our very own eyes. And
and Loki getting completely caught out the Q landing, but thankfully able to get out of there.
But either way, it's now a situation where UM-Flint need to base. They need to do something before Fresher just absolutely evaporates it. Villager's back got canceled earlier, so there's just too much being taken away from this Gwen. Loki trying to put an end to it. Falling down at the hands of this Gwen. Does manage to connect. The E cannon ult comes through as well. The stun is through, and the Leona takes the shutdown. It's a disaster.
That's a bit cooked, chat. No doubt about it. This pink ward gonna save Tube from a little bit of vision here as this Morgana continues forward. So much leeway for Trent in this top lane. And now UM-Flint gonna have to deal with this perma pushing top lane while they need to secure this soul.
I just watched a death cap spawn in this Gwen's inventory. That is a very, very scary prospect. I'm horrified.
Sure.
But either way, it looks like G-Touts is trying to cut the losses by looking for Nudesy here, knowing that she's going to be sitting potentially on these Krugs. Looking to walk forward, ease over the wall. Loki is ready to follow Nudesy, looking very, very caught out. Pressure, trying to get the TP in as well. Clorm falling dangerously low. G-Touch is trying to meet him with the Noxian diplomacy. Villager finishes out the kill. Pressure does get CC'd out by the Leona. Another stun from the cannon. It's permanent CC. The ult is not at the ready, and she takes down to this ignite. Manages to finish out Loki and walks out with her life, actually. I completely lied. Cannon ult is back up, and Rai just completely falls apart. Magma trying to take out G-Touch, but it might not be enough. The CC goes through, and Magma is kind of just standing there taunting, but the flash in place does not prove effective. G-Touch is able to take out this Morgana in a very, very flashy looking play. A little bit unfortunate from Trent. Pressure not being able to get that predicted value as a 3-item Gwen normally should. But it's a pretty big win for UM-Flint there.
Yeah, Boba able to split push that bot lane, and UM-Flint now looking to secure this soul as a result. Gonna be a little bit quicker to the timers here, as UM-Flint gonna arrive fully fledged here at this Drake much earlier. Gonna be that Cloud Soul on the line here.
I mean, Cloud Soul on Cannon Talon might be horrific for Trent to deal with.
Yeah, Trent. We don't see it.
They just don't, I guess. But now they're looking to play onto Nash here, using this cross-map timer potentially. But you know, imagine this, right? You know how Cloud Soul gives you 50% extra move speed after pressing R?
Sure.
Imagine a cannon.
Right. Oh, and it's a
no.
big engage onto this cannon. Imagine a cannon. Well, unfortunately, you can't. He doesn't exist anymore.
To the gray screen he goes, being caught out by Magma's Q in this unwarded jungle, proving to be a fairly big win for Trent here. Now, they're not starting Nash just yet, which is a little bit surprising, considering the fact that they managed to find the pick early. Onto the cannon, no less, so...
Yeah, I think just very scared here. Trent not wanting to really give over any sort of leads that they've continued to kind of build up here, but now they suspect something is very wrong here, and the Q does in fact land on Loki. Damage coming out, Loki with only half health. G-Touch trying to get in. The bullet time is good.
Flash from Clorm over the wall lets him kill the Talon. The Morgana goes down, but Chuba's getting rend out by the Nefiri. Boba flashing out, does manage to live against pressure. Villager trying to engage onto this Nefiri, does manage to not quite get the kill. It's one auto, it's flying through the air. It's a shuriken with a Doran's blade. It's enough damage. Pressure does have so much speed, so much damage. What? Ooh, Villager, wait, one auto. Oh,
it is so cooked.
That's
there.
So unfortunate. The stun would have been enough for Villager to take out Pressure, but it's a little bit too rough. And now Clorm and Pressure are about to make mincemeat out of UM-Flint's base. Loki being the only remaining member up, forced to give an inhib and a tower. That's a lot of pressure to be giving up for this Nash.
Yeah, Loki just gathering these minions, being a bit of a pincushion here just to hold the horde off. UM-Flint down 2 inhibitors and an entire Baron given away. I'm surprised Trent hasn't even started it yet.
Yeah, no, they had so many different opportunities, I think. You know, having infinite vision in this topside jungle of UM-Flint and being able to find these picks kind of guarantees the Nash, but the fact that they've been delaying it so long is a little bit concerning.
Yeah, I mean, this Nash still sitting here, and UM-Flint all able to respawn. 30 minutes on the game nears, and these timers only going to get more punishing, and Trent not going to be using their current advantage quite yet here. Not going to be able to find this Baron, and it might be big here as Loki finds Magma. G-Touch with the follow-up.
Ooh, it's not enough damage, just barely. And Magma just runs away on 1 HP, and that turns into a mid T2 take for UM-Flint here.
Still able to cycle in after one another. This Caitlyn falls. UM-Flint seeming down, but not out. The bullet time. Holy moly. And it's this Gwen who's just barely out of reach. It's a flank from the Fury.
Chube doing so much damage. The pressure falls down, but Nudzi is trying to catch out this MF, but she's too fast. There's too much people from the Loki. It's a triple kill for Chube. Clorm engaging on the MF does manage to get the kill. It's a bounty over to him. 2 kills to this Lucian's name. And Boba, nowhere to be seen during this fight. Not quite able to find more push on this mid or on this bot lane either. Little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just tough. Not sure where Boba was in like in the sequence there, but super tough as UM-Flint really could have used him.
I think a shockwave would have helped. I don't know if he was still dead or not, but
yeah. I wonder if it was maybe bad timer or what, but yeah, super unfortunate. UM-Flint definitely caught with their pants down there. I mean, expending so much, Tube gliding, but really, there's only so much you can do, especially with Nefiri pinching.
I think there was like a major miscommunication there on that play. It was 1 auto off of killing the tower. If they stayed in for 1 more second, then they could have gotten the tower and the play could have gone a little better. But I think Pressure's TP really threw a wrench into the equation and made them super scared. So
yeah.
But once again, on a Nash timer, we still see Fresher in the bot lane. Florm kind of just split pushing off this top lane. Little bit concerning.
Yeah. UM-Flint has so many angles to need to defend from.
For sure. Like, they don't really have this designated split pusher at a good time. Clorm can just take the entire base if given the opportunity. And with the supers in hand, it might be very difficult for UM-Flint to play it through. Villager eating forward, trying to look for the engage here. Expending the flash. Loki as well, getting the slow onto the Caitlyn. The flash is used. Clorm TP's in. The bullet time is enough to kill the Caitlyn. And now Fresher kind of caught up here. Trying to get chased by G-Touch. The R has to be used. No more charges left.
And it's going to be Boba actually, like, cutting around here on this topside jungle. Villager going to be in a very tough spot, but UM-Flint able to re-engage.
Does manage to walk out. G-Touch doing so much damage alongside Tube, and now it's left up to a lone Morgana to try to make a play, but it's not enough. Tube with a triple kill. G-Touch with so much damage. It's a Baron for UM-Flint.
So massive here. I think Boba just trying to find a little bit more, no doubt about it, but it is just tough. UM-Flint needing to find this Elder Drake, burst it down as soon as possible, and run this base to its final moments.
You know, all things considered, this is just an absolute surprise. Trent started out like this mid game with so much prio, so much vision control, so much just pressure, and UM-Flint have completely turned that idea on its head. They've taken the Baron, they've taken Elder, and now this last siege is going to be all they need to end out this game.
Yeah, Trent really making such strides, and in that early game, I mean, it was so solid, but UM-Flint still able to use every single little bit to their advantage, every single bit of health, just being able to rotate off of one another here, and now both teams getting pretty close for comfort.
Ooh, G-Touch managing to spot out these rotating members of Trent. Villager being able to expend the Gwen R. G-Touch now has an angle to just run straight to top with Elder in hand. Gwen, no ult. Might be able to look onto Fresher very soon. This Nash might give them the push they need to take out this top T2. And with no Gwen R, they don't really have the easiest angle to play from. the only real engage they have is for their Morgana to just run in with ult and Zhonya's. And because of that, the top T2 goes down.
Yeah, it's going to be Trent really needing to triage here, look for an angle. They still have opportunities, they still have damage, but it's all about trying to get Tube here, and with Loki still up, that peel is so massive.
For sure. And with Elder in hand, it might be very, very good for Tube. Running around at 200,000 movement speed on top of having an Elder drag might be pretty good, but I'm just a little bit shocked at the fact that they're still not pushing. You know, they have Nash.
Yeah.
All they need to do is just walk forward. They're kind of wasting away at this Elder. You can just fight on this. Like, it's moderately concerning, if you ask me. But
yeah. I mean, I do wonder what the rationale is, but they might find themselves in a very tough situation. I mean, I thought maybe they could find a pick off of that, but it's so dangerous to play this without your Talon.
Oh, Leona ult does not quite connect, but one auto from this MF is enough to offset that HP by that much. Unfortunately, canceling an auto, so the kill does get denied, but it's so much pressure. NECC does manage to leave, but now 90% of the pressure that UM-Flint had is gone. The Nash is out. The Elder is running out. It's just such a disaster for this play.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate here, as without that Elder, I mean, now I think it's still an open field for Trent. So close, yet so far for UM-Flint. And with these two open inhibitors, it certainly does beg the question, will they be able to really fend off these waves? I think Trent, Excalibur have such wave killing potential.
For sure.
At least comparatively.
I mean, like, the wave clear is okay. Like, they don't really have too much that can just one-shot it besides Gwen. But, I think the explosiveness that UM-Flint has should just insta-win them the game if they find an Elder. That's the thing, right? But there is still a lot of potential. They have so many different forms of engage. They have a Shockwave. They have a Leona. They have a Cannon. So there still are many avenues for both teams to play through here.
Yeah, but it's certainly a very concerning game state for UM-Flint. If they can't end off of an Elder, what can they end off of?
That's a great and wonderful question. NECC getting kind of caught out here. Edge of Night does block it out. W dodging the Leona ult as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good take on the Edge of Night, but certainly...
Oh, Villager.
Ooh.
Getting caught out by Fresher. Camping away in the bush. G-Touch has arrived. There is no more Gwen, or can G-Touch find this kill? Zhonya's comes through. The R is expended. G-Touch is now trying to play it through slowly through his passive. It's a lot of damage coming out from this Gwen, though. She's slowly bleeding down, but the snip is just too much damage, and Fresher has taken two. Tube is now trying to chase down Fresher, walking into the W. Does manage to take him out. Loki does find the E onto Magma. It's so much damage from Tube here. It's a lot of damage. Bullet time coming through, finishing the kill onto the Morgana. The Caitlyn tries to flash out, but Boba is way too fast. And this Caitlyn gets ran down, but the Lucian is just running down in UM-Flint's base. And with this wave, he could possibly end if they do not recall ASAP. This could be a disaster. Clorm is trying to take it away.
It is a macro disaster for UM-Flint. NECC not going to be anywhere nearby to help. Clorn already half damage onto this inhibitor, but Tube definitely going to be showcasing a bit of an ADC diff, but certainly, I mean, it's so much that this Lucian has been able to get from UM-Flint, really trying to play up in this top jungle. Loki might be able to cancel, but with that Edge of Night, it makes it much harder to do so.
I mean, an auto would have canceled it, but not a Q auto. Yeah, okay, because that completely mitigates the auto, I think. But either way, I'm a little bit worried in terms of itemization here. Like, that fight was only close because the MF doesn't have any lifesteal. right? If that was a BT instead of Axiom Mark, I think the Lucian just gets 30 0'd. And either way, it's a play for UM-Flint. They have taken another Nash and are looking to tempo it straight into another Elder.
How is this a 40-minute game?
I don't know. This is an absolute bloodbath. And it's surprisingly a 10k gold deficit for Trent.
UM-Flint in the death bush. This Morgana might be traveling a little too close for comfort, but definitely does get the Q in, but...
Ooh, Villager. The cannon damage is big, but somebody needs to recall for this Gwen ASAP. Your base is about to fall apart. Newsy trying to flash forward, does not manage to find the smite, and the Elder goes over to UM-Flint. Boba is now trying to deal with the Gwen as UM-Flint are looking to run down the Caitlyn here. Inhib is taken. Pressure trying to E4 with the R, not quite able to catch out Boba here. Boba still trying to play around this thin line here. Third R does proc. Shield goes through. It's not enough for Fresher to make a play here. TP comes through from the Caitlyn, but they don't really have a wave. UM-Flint can't end just yet. Fresher's TPing back to base. I'm a little bit befuddled by that, but now UM-Flint have a very good timer to work with. They have people not quite up yet. They have a wave. They have some time. But it looks like they will be taking a reset amidst this chaos.
Oh, yet another Baron and still no end. Still, it's going to be Trent University on this split push, giving UM-Flint so much, tearing them apart at the seams and making them have to completely fall back. Now, it's going to be them just continuously looking to clear these waves, looking to push them in, but if anything, Trent are completely happy with that at this point.
I guess so. I mean, I'm just a little bit concerned. Look at this positioning of Boba. He's still trying to split push while his team is ending mid. We're not pushing the wave fast enough, so the wave meets bot, and it can be a disaster if they try to look for something.
Yeah. Boba going to be nearby very soon, but he's very segmented from the rest of his team now, moving over.
Wait.
It's going to be Loki looking for an
UM-Flint.
angle.
Villager running in with the cannon or the bullet time, the Leona, or everybody just completely evaporates. And G-Touch looking for more, is able to find Rai. Fresher is now alone, getting stunned out by Loki. Zonia's comes out, but it's 5 people standing on top of her, and the Gwen cannot live. An absolutely explosive finish to the series. Well, I wasn't aware of your game, guys. That's on me.
That's, yeah, I mean, UM-Flint playing to the edges, playing all the way through, looking like they just wanted a little bit of cinema there. What an end to the series, and UM-Flint Blue does, in fact, move forward in playoffs. What a series.
What a I mean, I gotta admit, I was quite stressed for the team at hand here, you know.
Yeah.
Going from the way game 1 was straight over to this nail-biting, you know, long, just really never-ending series.